Today, I'd like to give a brief overview of REDS, R-E-D-S, or Relative Energy Deficiency in sports. Essentially, this is a syndrome where the athlete is not taking in enough calories to meet his or her daily energy demands. REDS is very common in all sports, and Jiu Jitsu athletes can suffer from REDS also. Jiu Jitsu athletes are susceptible because Jiu Jitsu is a very energy intense sport, and it's also a weight class sport. So many Jiu Jitsu athletes are acutely aware of where they fit into the weight classes. Today, I'm going to give a brief overview of the unintentionally not taking in enough calories. Won't be discussing intentional caloric restriction to meet a weight class for an upcoming competition, or disordered eating or an eating disorder where the athlete restricts calories due to a dysfunctional relationship with food and or body image. So this is a brief overview of the athlete who unintentionally eats below maintenance, which is very common. There are many metabolic effects of REDS. Some of the major ones are chronically increased serum cortisol levels. Chronically increased serum cortisol is catabolic. Chronically decreased serum testosterone levels, inhibiting anabolism. Less and less free T4 being converted to the active T3 and more of it being converted to the inactive reverse T3, thus slowing metabolism. Some of the symptoms of REDS include, of course, decreased athletic performance, fatigue, weight loss, irritability, insomnia, frequent illness, frequent injuries, low libido, menstrual irregularities, and many, many other symptoms. As we know, the pillars of athletic performance include proper diet, adequate hydration, high-quality sleep, stress management, appropriate training stimulus followed by appropriate recovery leading to appropriate adaptation, relaxed consistency, time, and of course the king of all athletic performance, genetics. Once we recognize that REDS does have a prevalence in the jiu-jitsu community, what are some of the strategies that we can mitigate our risk of developing REDS? One reasonable thing to do would be to download a total daily energy expenditure calculator off the internet, TDEE calculator. This will give you a ballpark range of the daily calories you need to eat at maintenance. It may be off by a few hundred calories either way, but it gives you a good starting point. Of course, proper hydration is very important, and you can calculate baseline fluid needs using the Holliday-Segar formula, HOLLIDA space SEGAR formula. This is very accurate for both children and adults regarding baseline fluid needs in a 24-hour period. Another thing you can do is monitor your vital signs on a regular basis. Vital signs are called vital signs because they're vital to life. Monitoring your weight. If your weight is decreasing unintentionally, that could be one sign of the development of REDS. Monitoring your pulse on waking. Is your baseline pulse significantly below or above your previous baseline? Or has your heart rate variability decreased? That could be a sign of REDS. Decreased blood pressure from baseline could be a sign. If your baseline temperature is a little bit lower than baseline, that could be another sign. A physical exam by your provider, or even looking at yourself in the mirror. How does your body look? Do you seem to have less muscle mass than before? That could be a sign of REDS. Every jiu-jitsu athlete should undergo and have labs drawn at least once a year. Some signs of REDS may be the development of anemia, or a much lower fasting blood sugar than previous baseline, a much lower lipid panel than baseline, having a very low total cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL, and HDL isn't always a sign of good health. Thyroid studies to look for any evidence of slowed metabolism. Vitamin deficiencies. Has the athlete developed a vitamin D deficiency, iron deficiency, B12 folate deficiency? A pre-albumin level can be drawn. A low pre-albumin level could be one sign of malnutrition. The next thing to look at is medications. There are many medications that people take on a regular basis that can suppress appetite. Unintentionally, you don't even realize it, such as stimulants, certain medications to treat nasal congestion, especially around allergy season, GLP-1 agonists, which are sometimes prescribed to treat type 2 diabetes mellitus or for weight loss themselves. So these are some of the strategies you can use to recognize if perhaps you are developing REDS and to try to correct it. I just wanted to give a brief overview